welcome back to Googie's Kitchen, and if you are new here then hello and welcome. My name is Alexis and I post 2 videos a week on a Tuesday and a Thursday at 7 AM. So if you love a recipe video like this one and you want to see more, then please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And now I'm going to share with you my Smokey BBQ leftover chicken with rice and broccoli. As I just mentioned, today I want to share with you how to make my delicious Smokey BBQ leftover chicken. We love chicken in this house, and when I make a roast chicken dinner, I always make sure there's leftovers for the freezer. So I purposely make sure I buy a much bigger chicken than we need, and then I will always have leftovers to store in my freezer for a future meal. And this today is our future meal because I am using leftover chicken today. But if you don't have leftover chicken, you can use uncooked chicken. And I'm going to make a really nice smoky barbecue sauce for the chicken, and I'm going to smother it in that, and then I'm going to cook some rice and some broccoli as well. Oh, just the sound of it is making me feel really hungry right now. So yes, while I was making it, of course, I thought I'd share the recipe with you. So here is how to make my delicious smoky barbecue leftover chicken. I've grabbed myself a large pan and I'm going to put my hob onto a high heat, and then I'm going to add some oil to the base of the pan as well. And then I'm just going to leave this pan to heat up now. The pan is getting nice and hot now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my onions to the base of the pan. The onions to the base of the pan. So I have peeled and sliced and diced 1 onion, and as I said, I've just added that to the base of the pan. And I'm going to fry the onion until it starts to soften and go a golden brown colour. The onion has started to soften and it has started to slightly go golden brown, so you want it that sort of colour really. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to add in 1 red pepper. So I sliced the top from the red pepper, remove remove the stalk and the core. And now I'm going to add the red pepper to the pan as well. So I'm just going to put this in. And I'm going to fry this until it starts to soften slightly. Red pepper does, for any pepper, sort of takes a little while to soften. So do bear with it, but it will start to hopefully soften after a few minutes. I'm also going to turn the heat down on the pan as well because that's getting a bit hot now. And I'm just going to continue to fry this pepper, as I said, until it starts to soften slightly. So it took a few minutes, but the pepper has started to soften. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in 1 courgette. So I have peeled and grated 1 courgette. And the reason I grated this is because I'm going to make this sauce, and I'm going to blend it. So I want to grate it so the pieces are smaller. And I did try to cut the red pepper up into small pieces. It may not look as though they're small, but they are quite small. And it will just blend easier if everything's chopped smaller or grated. So that's why I've done that. So I am continuing to fry the courgette until everything starts to soften in the pan. Everything has softened beautifully, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some spices to the base of my pan. So I'm going to add some cayenne pepper, so I've only added a little bit of cayenne pepper. If you like it more spicy, then you can always add more. I am serving this to a child who does like spice, but he doesn't like it too spicy, so that's why I'm only adding a little bit. Then I added 1 teaspoon of onion granules, and now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of garlic granules as well. And then I'm going to add a teaspoon of mild chili powder as well. And then finally I'm going to add, in the spices category anyway, a teaspoon of smoked paprika, and this is where the smoky flavour will come from, is the smoked paprika. And then I'm going to add some oregano or oregano, depending on which continent you're standing. So I'm just going to add a teaspoon of oregano, as we say in the UK. And I'm going to stir those ingredients round, like so. And then I'm going to add in my tomatoes to this. So I've got 1 tin of tomatoes. But if you wanted to make a bigger sauce, then obviously add more. I'm serving this to my husband, my son and myself today. So we don't want too much, but we want enough to feed us. So I'm only using 1 tin today. And I'm also going to add a little bit of chicken stock to that as well. So I'm going to add it to the tin like so. And then I'm going to swirl it around and I'm just going to put it in, and that empties the tin. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stir these ingredients together like so, and I'm going to bring these ingredients to the boil, and then I'm going to leave them to simmer without the lid on, because I want the sauce to go quite jammy before I blend it in the blender. It will make it taste quite thick and delicious basically. So I'm just going to leave this. It's coming to the boil now, so I'm just going to turn the heat down and I'm going to leave the sauce on the hob for a good 15 to 20 minutes. And of course I forgot that while it's simmering, I'm also going to add in a little bit of salt to the sauce, and I'm also going to add in a little bit of pepper as well, not too much because we've already added the cayenne pepper in. And then I'm also going to add in a big dollop of tomato puree. I'd say probably a couple of tablespoons. And then a couple of tablespoons of tamari, which is soya sauce. So if you can't get tamari is fermented soya sauce, but it's also gluten-free. I have a slight gluten allergy, so that's why I'm using tamari, but if you don't have a gluten allergy, then you can always use just ordinary soya sauce. So yes, as I said, I'm going to leave this to simmer on the hob. I left the sauce on the hob for a good 15 minutes, and it has started to go a little bit jammy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this from the heat now, and I'm going to leave it to cool. And then once it's cooled to, it doesn't have to cool completely, but just cool enough to put into a blender, I will blend it up and I will put it back into the pan with the chicken. The sauce has cooled, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this into my blender like so. So I'm just going to scrape the saucepan and I'm going to blend all of these ingredients together. It smells yummy as well. It has cooled a lot as well. I only left it for about 20 minutes and it has cooled quite well. So I'm going to put the lid on and I'm going to blend these ingredients together. The ingredients have been blended until they are smooth, like so. So I'm going to pour this back in the pan and then I'm going to add the chicken as well. As you can see, I've put the rice on to boil and I've also put the sauce back on the hob for a little while. I do like sauce that's quite thick and creamy, so I've put this on and I'm just going to leave the sauce to come to the boil, and then I'll turn the heat down and leave it to simmer, and hopefully that will make the sauce go lovely and jammy and it will smother the chicken really nicely as well. I've left the sauce on the hob for another 10 minutes or so and it has started to thicken slightly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the chicken in. So as I said, I've got some leftover chicken here, but if you have got uncooked chicken, then you could always grill it or put it in your slow cooker and cook it off if you wanted to, and then just cut it up. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the chicken into the sauce like so, and I'm going to stir that around. And my rice is cooked as well, so I shall be serving up with some broccoli in a moment, and that, my friends, is our dinner done. That's how you make my delicious smoky barbecue leftover chicken, and that recipe I will link in the description box below for you. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to be having this for our lunch today and we're all really looking forward to it, so I'm off to eat it now. So for now, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and please feel free to leave any comments below. And please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. See you all soon. Bye.